Hey guys, welcome back to One Stop Mouse. I'm Bob, and this is Vlogmas Day 10. Moving along. Merry Vlogmas. What I'm gonna lay out now is the infamous Christmas time honey-do list. Now, I don't want to mislead you into thinking that my present-day wife has actually laid out all of these things into a honey-do list. This is a best of, worst of honey-do list. It's an amalgamation of the most memorable Christmas time honey-do requests and the consequences spanning 4 marriages from 1985 to present day. I just wanted to clarify that because I know my wife will see this and my present-day father-in-law will see this, and I don't want to make it another dramatic situation. So anyway, fasten your seatbelts. Number 10. Bob, stop the Christmas light vandals. Do you guys remember the film Caddyshack, where Bill Murray played a crazed groundskeeper at a golf course? He was being crazed because his grounds were being destroyed by this one smart gopher. Well, I was being crazed because I thought kids were coming and cutting the wires on our Christmas tree displays outside. You know, I had this big extravaganza, and it was actually one singular rabbit that kept doing all the damage. And no matter what I did, like Elmer Fudd, I was out there in the middle of the night, you know, trudging around in the snow. I could never get this rabbit to stop. And it was really ridiculous because, you know, I set up all kinds of traps and stuff like the kid from Home Alone to get these Christmas light vandals. And then I would run out there and I was like, I've got you now. And there'd be nobody there because, of course, it was this little bunny who just went into the bushes. And, yeah, he just made me look kind of stupid. Number 9. Bob, close the non-profit for the whole Christmas week. Well, do you guys know how things went in the Wild West? Basically, the law was this really loose concept, and the only time you knew that people were going to follow the law was when they were looking down the nose of a marshal's gun. And it was this loose code of an idea, so whenever things got a little bit rowdy or whatever, you never really knew what was going to happen until it really happened. Well, in this environment where my nonprofit was up in the mountains, it was the same sort of environment. So if you thought that you were going to close a place that they wanted to get in, they basically practically just broke in. So everything worked out okay in the end, but let's just say I learned the concept of if you want to get a good grasp on Jell-O, the more you squeeze it, the more goes through your fingers. And that was a very, very bad idea. That's as much as I can allude to there. Number 8. Bob, make the crumb-cocker. Okay. Crumb-cocker is this very delicate Norwegian Christmas cookie that all Norwegians are obsessed with, but it is also very, very hard to make. You have to make these thin pancakes of this sugar cookie kind of dough and roll it up very gently around these hot irons, and you make these cone-shaped kind of cookies, and when you go to bite them, they kind of crumble. But Norwegians, or Norwegian Americans, are obsessed with this cookie. It's a must-have, must-do. It's at the top of the list. Well, there's nobody in our family that can do this now, except for my stepmom. And there was one year when she couldn't do it, nobody else could do it, so everybody looked at, I don't know why everyone would look at me to be the Norwegian baker, but they did. And I attempted to make crumb and almost burned down the family homestead. Let's just put it at that.
This is Stapleton Airport information, Mike. Wind at 320 degrees at 6, temperature 5.
Number 7, Bob, put up the big tree. All right, what does the big tree mean exactly? Okay. Well, back in, I guess this was Christmas of 2005, I had just gotten married. It was a big affair and a big honeymoon, and everything in that marriage was over the top. And our very first Christmas was over the top too. And the house we were living in had, in parts, very high vaulted ceilings, like 25, 30 foot, I think it was 28 actually, vaulted ceilings. And so my wife, for this special occasion, wanted me to get a noble spruce Christmas tree, one of those big heavy guys, that was as big as possible to fit into that space. Now, you're talking like a 25-foot Christmas tree of that kind of Christmas tree, very, very heavy. That's the kind of thing that you see in like town squares growing live or in special events and places. And anyway, it was an enormous expense. Bought the tree. My father-in-law and a few other gentlemen were supposed to be there to help me out. Needless to say, those people did not show up. Now, it's okay when you've got several burly gentlemen helping you load this onto a pickup truck, and it's kind of way out the front and way out the back, and you've got flags on it and everything, like you're one of those vehicles moving a house. The trick is, when you get to the location and they're still not there, those people who were going to show up to help you out, getting it off of the truck, getting it into the house, and it's just you and your wife. Number 6, Bob, just invite some of your family to this Walt Disney World family reunion Christmas get-together. All right, so bad idea, first of all. It's sort of like going into a classroom of kindergarten children and just giving a piece of candy to half of them and leaving the room. What do you think is going to happen? Okay, so not a good idea. Lots of family drama. Number 5, Bob, get your niece a cat for Christmas. And while you're at it, make it a rescue cat. You don't want to get a little kitten. Get an older cat, like a big old cat that really needs us to help them. Okay, it's a good idea. Except, do not go and get a rescue cat and expect him to acclimate automatically just because, well, I'm a good guy, so he'll feel that vibe. So you bring home that rescue cat, and it's a couple of days before the big event, before Christmas, and you've got a Christmas tree set up with delicate crystal ornaments. These ornaments from your family that have these rose marling paintings on them that are back through the generations, through like your grandfather and your great-grandfather and your great-great-grandfather, and think that that cat is not going to have a fit and climb the tree and smash all that stuff to smithereens. Now, I'm not saying that's what did happen, but all right, yes, I'm saying it. That's what happened. Number 4, Bob, could you please do me a favor and cook Christmas dinner this year? All right, bad idea for a guy that can't fry an egg without cracking the yolk and overcooks it all the time. Just did it today. Really bad idea. I did attempt to cook the turkey with the special stuffing in it and everything, and burned it, and then basically went out to a restaurant and got all of the stuff and then brought it back and then faked it like I was cooking it all day. And it ended up costing me everything that the meal cost, plus then I had to go and spend it at a restaurant, so it cost me an arm and a leg. If you can't cook, just say no, or just say, okay, I know how to do it. I'm gonna go and get the stuff from a place that really does it well. Or, you know, just say, hey, I'll treat you. We'll go to Liberty Tree Tavern at Magic Kingdom. It's always great there. It actually will still end up being less expensive than cooking it multiple times. Bob, be sociable with my side of the family, but keep the family secrets. How can a new husband that doesn't really know the family secrets and doesn't really know all of the relatives and all of the details of everything keep the family secrets? He can't. If anybody asks you to keep the family secret for some reason, either leave or just eat a lot. That's what I should have probably done. I shouldn't have been quiet. That would have been too weird. I should have just, you know, people would have been saying, wow, he eats a lot. I should have just kept stuffing stuff in my mouth and just... Number 2, hey Bob, take a secret trip to visit your father for Christmas. He hasn't seen you in several years. That's a good idea. It's not a good idea if your father happens to have a coronary condition. If your father has a coronary condition, do not, I repeat, do not give him a surprise visit like that, because he almost did have a heart attack and he asked me to never do that again, and I have never done that again. But it was a good secret and I thought it was kind of fun at the time until it wasn't, and then it wasn't. Number 1, Bob, play Santa just like your dad. He doesn't want to do it this year. Okay, there's a couple of things with that. My dad's been playing Santa since literally as long as I can remember. So that's like when I was an infant. So he's got it down pat. He's a character actor for Santa, all of that. So much so that a lot of the little kids in the family still haven't figured out that even though my dad leaves when Santa Claus shows up, because we do this thing, that's one of our traditions. Santa comes and he's there on Christmas Eve and he greets everybody and everything. It's like, why is my dad gone and Santa, and they're never in the same place like Clark Kent? He's such a good actor that no one has figured that out yet, except for, you know, a couple of us. When I did it, every single person, even though it was in his suit, his Santa suit, every single person, even the little kids, like the 2-year-old kids, knew that it was me, that it was Uncle Bob. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. We'll see you real soon.